Welcome to Spotlight. I'm Terry Harrington. I'll be speaking with Jeff and Patti Friedland from the Plum Nugget Coffee Company. Today's show is sponsored by the St. Clair County Department of Veteran Affairs. Well, Jeff and Patti, welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So tell us, how did Plum Nugget Coffee come into being?
Well, I started roasting probably, 7, 8 years ago? Just small scale, small batches, and family wanted a little more, and then their friends wanted, and we went to a bigger roaster and decided to go into business. And let Patti tell you how Plum Nugget became the name, because it was all her doing.
I was kind of at first like, he was asking me to figure out a name, and I was going through all the thesaurus, the dictionary, looking for something really different. And I came up with Plum Nugget, plum being perfectly, and nugget being golden. So I thought, okay, Plum Nugget. However, it took me a while to realize, partway into it, he spelled plum wrong. It was supposed to be P-L-U-M-B, but P-L-U-M stuck.
There you go.
So.
But I mean, here you are, a retired couple, and just kind of making a hobby, and you've turned it into a business. How does that happen?
I guess having good coffee. I mean, when you get fresh roasted coffee, you just don't like to drink other coffee. And whether it's our coffee or any other place that has fresh roasted, it's like night and day. Mm-hmm. I always drank mine cream and sugar through the many years of my career in that. I drink it black now. There's no bitterness. It's just very smooth. And
So what makes Plum Nugget different than some of the others that we've seen? And we've had other people who've brewed coffee around the area in the past, but what makes yours a little different than others?
There's no acidic taste to it. You know what I mean? There's no bitterness.
Yeah, we don't rush it. We take our time roasting. We try to stay small. Mm-hmm. My accountant says, you got to raise your prices, and I keep saying no. We just believe that to give people, really good coffee at a very fair price. And like I say, it's a hobby. It's occupies some time. It was getting to the point of occupying too much time. So we had to re-examine whether we were doing markets, scale back on that. We picked up City Flats, and we have one other customer, Down to Earth Mushrooms. Okay. They add lion's mane mushrooms to their coffee, and they sell it. So
To your coffee.
Yeah.
So how did this whole City Flats part come about? That's pretty cool, I think.
We were at, let me think. We were at the City of Port Huron Farmers Market, and Scott Beaton came along, and he said, we might need a coffee vendor and down the road. And I said, well, hey, let me know. And I gave him a bag of coffee, of course. It's I hadn't heard from him for a while, but then he called and said, hey, we're ready to go. Do you want your coffee in it? And I said, absolutely, sure. And we gave him 2 or 3 different bags to sample in that. And the coffee they decided on she was very instrumental in that one. It took me a month to get the right blend. I used 3 different beans and get the correct ratio. Final sample, she can tell you from there, took her 10 seconds to name the coffee that took me a month to create. So
damn. Yeah, it was good. It was like, and he goes, that's what we're going to name it. Damn.
There you go. So, and then that kind of gives you a little worldwide outreach with visitors coming into Port Huron and visiting the City Flats, right?
And probably the best story is one of the markets, there's a little old lady that waits till, there's some customers in front, and she walks up and says, I want my damn coffee. And then she giggles, and then she tells, well, that's the name of the coffee. And that's the things that make life great. Yeah. It's just, people and very loyal customer.
Like the ones that would come to the market and buy specifically to send to the their family out in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how can people get a hold of Plum Nugget Coffee and be able to sample themselves?
City Flats has bags for sale. We're going to be restocking Green Barn Winery very shortly. We have a website, plumnuggetcoffee.com. We're on Facebook. It's available, and we scaled back a little bit. We've got a couple mediums. We got a dark. We've got a bourbon infused, a red wine infused. We've got decaf, and we're going to have some specialty coffees of the month. Nothing too fancy. We believe in just plain, simple, good coffee.
When you retired a few years ago, I'm sure this wasn't in the plans, but it just happened, right?
Yeah, I actually started roasting before I retired. It was a conversation with somebody at work, and they got me started, and
Here we are.
Tell them how you first started roasting with popcorn popper.
Yeah, it was a popcorn popper, and very small scale, and as soon as the kids tasted it, Dad, we want some, and I spent it all day at the pot and burned out a couple popcorn poppers.
Oh, I'm sure, sure.
We're on our about our fourth roaster now.
Wow.
It's big enough. We could go bigger, but then I'd just do more work, so
There you
don't want
go.
to do that.
Well, congratulations, you two, and putting Yale on the map, not for just bologna, but for coffee too now, right?
Yeah.
So Plum Nugget Coffee, something to look forward to.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Spotlight, and we want to thank you for joining us as well.